All right, y'all. This is the first installment of You Can't Make This Up. Got a phone call a few weeks back. Person was telling me about how their arm was hurting, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. What happened? I don't know. I think, maybe I slept bad. And increasingly it got worse. They went back and forth to the doctor. They did x-rays, couldn't find nothing wrong. Um, I went over there and made a sling out of a scarf, just so they could keep their arm up. Um, and, they was really going through something. And finally they got an MRI appointment last week. I think it was Thursday. So they went to the appointment and said, they would call me and let me know how it went. I was like, cool. In the meantime, I got a phone call from their roommate. The roommate was like, I left and came back, and my mattress was moved out of my room and put into the hallway. And I'm like, what the heck you mean? And he was like, I left, I came back, and my mattress was in the hallway. I was like, well, what the heck? And he was like, well, she moved it. And I'm like, she can't move it because her arm is jacked up. And he was like, I don't know what to tell you, but she moved that mattress, and I'm over here tripping. I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. If they mention it or whatever, then I'll say something or whatever. Well, I didn't have to mention it or nothing because that person called me to, say they had come back from the MRI and could I come by there? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went by. Now I know what I'm going to see, but I'm like acting like I don't know nothing. So I walk in and I'm like, dang, why is this mattress in the middle of your hallway? And they was like, it was some stuff all in the trailing out, and I had to go in. And I said, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Well, there was some clippings that was trailing out of that room into the hallway. And I say, well, why didn't you just tell that person to clean up their mess? Why did you have to go in the room? Well, I needed to see where they was coming from, and when I got in there, they was coming from under the bed, so I had to move the mattress. I say, and you did all that by yourself? Now, in my mind, I'm like, this is the same person who been crying to me for the last, I don't know how many weeks about this shoulder that's jacked up. And I'm like, okay, all right. I need to just dial it down a notch because now I'm feeling like, okay, maybe I'm boo-boo the fool. So that person proceeds to continue to tell me how this trail of clippings led to the mattress ending up in the hallway. I was so mad. I wasn't laughing then. I was so mad. But I was like, well, okay, whatever. And then the next day, the person calls me saying, yeah, it's definitely, my rotator cuff is torn. It's a 6-inch tear. And I'm like, was it torn before or after the mattress? Tell me that. You over there, what? Before or after? That's all I want to know.